tonight on our Great American Panel, he was a pollster to President Bill Clinton and New York Mayor Mike Bloomberg. Bernard Whitman is here. He's the author of this brand new book, an incredible story, True Strength, My Journey from Hercules to Mere Mortal, and How Nearly Dying Saved My Life. Actor Kevin Sorbo is here, and she was Miss America 2008 and is a community relations specialist with, what is it, Timberline Knowles. It's Kirsten Hagelin. When did you add that?
Oh, last month. It's an eating disorders treatment center in Chicago.
Well, it's good to see you. Let's go to Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This is the ongoing nonsense campaign by the liberal Democrats. Here's what she said about Republicans wanting the economy to fail because they don't like Obama.
Republicans, because they're only interested in one job, Barack Obama's, don't seem to be interested in getting jobs created now. You know, where is the leadership on the Republican side? You want to talk about sitting on the sidelines? They're the ones that have just been crossing their arms and hoping for failure. I mean, how could it's so irresponsible for them to allow the economy to just remain stagnant? You know, so that they can
they would
get
disagree.
a political victory in the election next year.
You worked for Clinton. Is this good that the president's embracing the Occupy Wall Street nutcases? Is this good to this kind of extremism? Democrats saying that conservatives want blacks hanging from trees?
Look, the facts unfortunately show that the Republicans are most interested in making sure that one guy loses his job. The president, instead of allowing millions,
do you think that's going to resonate, or do people legitimately disagree with them on principle?
Let me explain. Two-thirds of the American public wanted the jobs bill passed. The Republicans said no. Two-thirds of the American public want the rich tax to pay for that jobs bill.
Where?
They said no.
The jobs bill was stopped by Democrats in the Senate. The Democrats in the Senate stopped it.
Senate Republicans unanimously were against a jobs bill, which Moody's said would add 2 million jobs, to the economy, and would grow the economy by 2%.
Kirsten, who has a majority in the Senate?
The Democrats.
Right. And the Democrats stopped the bill in the Senate, and now
Absolutely. And you know what? Obama's interested in his job, too. That's why he's out on the road campaigning. So Republicans are interested, so are Democrats.
Does this hurt the Democrats that the extreme left now is embraced by the president and Nancy Pelosi?
I think it is. I went down to the Occupy Wall Street protests today to just check it out. And they are extreme. They are radical. They're very different from the Tea Party. I don't actually know what pot smells like, but we won't go there. But they are extreme. They are radical. They're different from the Tea Party. And I think that Obama is going to really regret it in 2012 if he comes to side with them and they do something that really alienates voters.
What do you think?
Well, you know, it's if we're going to talk about those guys, what's interesting to me is I think they're protesting at the wrong place. They should be down in Washington doing the protesting. You can't have banks, you can't have businesses, and you can't have Wall Street segregated from each other. You need them as a team to make anything work and to create jobs. That's the only place it's going to come from.
You raised such a good point. I've always wondered, why don't people get mad at government that borrows 40 cents of every dollar, and they get their power by spending other people's money and redistributing wealth?
But here's how they're different than the Tea Party. The favorability of Occupy Wall Street is 54%. That's double the Tea Party. Why? Because most people actually agree that the gap between rich and poor is too great.
And the people having sex and being topless are more popular.
Most people agree that those responsible for the Wall Street meltdown should be prosecuted. And most people agree that the rich should pay a little bit more to fund jobs. Most people actually support what Occupy Wall Street stands for. That's
how much does the top 1% of wage earners pay as a percentage of federal income taxes?
They ought to pay.
I didn't ask you that. How much do they pay? Can you answer a question? How much does the top 1% pay, a percentage?
Likely about half.
40. How much does the top 10% pay?
Likely about 70.
75. How much does the bottom 50% pay? How much?
Nothing. You know why? You know why?
Nothing.
Because their incomes have gone down.
Okay, it's the richest fault. I got it.
It is the fact that the gap between rich and poor has not been greater in the last 40 years. Median income is down over the last 10 years. Corporate profits are up.
All right.
It is time that those who have done well during economic upheaval,
like Jeffrey Immelt, GE, the friend of Obama, like Solyndra shouldn't get money.
Exactly what they're complaining about, though, is going after people that do actually create the jobs. You can't create jobs. Government can't create jobs because they create jobs that are funded by our tax dollars.
I never got a job from a poor person.
No.
But corporate profits are at record highs.
Great American Panel. First words out of his mouth when we go into classes, I'm a communist. I'm like, oh, great.
You're like, oh,
really? I'm sure you got along famously.
More and more.
What?
I'm sure you got along famously.
We know how well communists
The worst grade I got in college, if you want.
Oh, man.
All right, let's go to, you work in Hollywood. Here you got some actors that are real geniuses out there. Sean Penn goes on the ever-growing liberal network, the Clinton News Network, and here's what he said.
And yet there's another problem. You have what I call the get the N-word out of the White House party, the Tea Party, this kind of sensibility, which is much more of a distraction.
Well, I had Morgan Freeman on,
than it is
one of your movie colleagues, and he was very passionate about that very subject, saying there are elements of the Tea Party who, just as he said, want to get the black man out of the White House. He said it on this show.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. If you ask a representative of the Tea Party, okay, Social Security, socialists, get rid of it, they're going to get very confused. What they're, at the end of the day, there's a big bubble coming out of their head saying, you know, can we just lynch him?
Can we just...
Oh,
it's absolutely ridiculous.
Is that what they're saying? Because I haven't seen
That's the latest now. I mean, this is a series, though.
You know, it's pretty amazing. Let me ask you, if Herman Cain gets in, is that's the same sentiment then? They'll get the N man out of the White House? I get so tired of the race card. I get tired of it. It's a crutch that's been going on for a long, long time. And if you had 97% of the black population voted for Obama, is that kind of not a racist vote in itself? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, if America was racist, there were a lot of white Americans that voted for Barack Obama.
But thank God there's no racism in other parties. Only in the Tea Party.
No, there's certainly racism everywhere. And I think, by and large, to be fair, the Tea Party is not inherently racist. But there are certainly elements that I think have glammed onto the Tea Party.
I
think there are racist elements that have glammed onto the Tea Party to normalize themselves.
Stop. Who?
There are racists in America.
Who?
There are racists everywhere, Sean.
Okay, there are anti-Semitic people
so we don't need to talk about it.
So what I'm saying is there are racist elements that have glammed onto the Tea Party to try to normalize
a false narrative.
I'm not
exactly, to disgrace the Tea Party, to make them look bad in favor of the Occupy Wall Street. But if there are racist elements of society as a whole, then it's irrelevant as it relates to the conversation with the Tea Party. We don't need to talk about it. Herman Cain is in the lead for the Republican nomination, and the Tea Party loves him.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
You don't think the birthers were racist?
Maybe he doesn't know he's a black man.
John, come on. You don't think the birthers had a major racist element? That never would have happened to a white president.
No.
People questioning about where Barack Obama was born.
It was never my issue, but I got to tell you something. What was such a big deal? Say, show your birth certificate. Why didn't they just show it and get it over with? Why did this have to drag on forever?
Why was it brought up in the first place? It's fundamentally
because he says in his book he grew up in Kenya.
It never would have happened to a white president.
We got to run. Never would. Brett is next. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.